Mercedes went to Miami with 2 upgrades, while McLaren and Red Bull both arrived with 7 new parts each. Brackley held their fire. They weren't struggling, they were saving. Canada is where the real W17 arrives, and where the 2026 season begins to take a different shape entirely. 4 races in, Mercedes lead the Constructors' Championship by 68 points over Ferrari. Antonelli and Russell have locked out the front row on every Grand Prix grid this season, and the W17 has won all 4 races. By almost every measure, the season is already running away from the field, but Miami gave the field a signal. McLaren's 7-part upgrade, centered on a redesigned front wing, delivered a sprint race 1-2 for Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Red Bull's 7 new parts were reported to add 6/10 to the RB22's lap time. The W17 survived Sunday with a win, but the gap between Mercedes and the rest is no longer fixed. Canada changes that picture considerably. Mercedes have held their main aerodynamic package back since Miami, and it arrives in Montreal this weekend. The core of the update targets the front end of the car, a revised front wing, a new airflow concept that extends through the floor, and continued weight reduction through a lighter gearbox casing, pushing the W17 closer to the 768 kilogram minimum. Third-party reports suggest the package could be worth around 3/10 of a lap, though Mercedes have not confirmed a figure. Toto Wolff confirmed after Miami that a major update is coming in Canada, while adding it has to actually be the case on the racetrack. The package also takes aim at Mercedes' most consistent weakness of the season: race starts. Antonelli has lost 26 places on opening laps across sprints and Grand Prix combined in the first 4 rounds. In Miami's sprint specifically, incorrect clutch targets produced wheel spin. The electronics team are working to reduce the impact of the W17's large turbo at the launch, targeting Ferrari's consistent advantage off the line, which comes from their smaller turbo spinning faster and delivering boost pressure more readily. Williams are also arriving in Montreal with a sizable package of their own. Following the new floor, revised bodywork, suspension changes, and exhaust development they brought to Miami, James Vowles has confirmed the pipeline continues, describing it as potentially a nice sizable amount of performance, while acknowledging that Mercedes, Audi, and Haas are all likely to be bringing updates simultaneously, making the net gain hard to predict. And Zach Brown has signaled that McLaren may be next to adopt the Macarena wing. Ferrari debuted the flexing rear wing concept in Bahrain and reintroduced it permanently for Miami. Red Bull followed with their own version the same weekend. McLaren would be the 3rd team. Brown confirmed McLaren had thought about it, calling it clever and potentially beneficial. Canada also carries a regulatory deadline that goes well beyond the points table. It is the final round of the FIA's first ADUO evaluation window, covering Australia, China, Japan, Miami, and Canada. ADUO, Additional Development and Upgrade Opportunities, is the engine catch-up mechanism built into the 2026 rules, designed to prevent manufacturers from falling permanently behind. Any manufacturer whose internal combustion engine is at least 2% below the benchmark unit qualifies for extra development allowance and additional budget outside the cost cap, scaling up to $11 million for the most severe deficits. The FIA expects to publish results within 2 weeks of Montreal. Honda and Audi are watching most closely. Aston Martin have described their Honda-powered AMR 26 as suffering extraordinary problems with vibration and drivability, and both cars only finished a race for the first time in Miami, in 15th and 17th. Audi, as a brand new manufacturer running just 2 cars, lacks the accumulated data that established suppliers hold. FIA single-seater director Nicholas Tombazis has been explicit. ADUO is not a balance of performance mechanism. It is a cost cap relief allowance, not a shortcut to competitiveness. 4 races set the order. Canada starts the reckoning. Mercedes arrive with their most significant upgrade of the season. McLaren may be about to reshape their car, and the FIA are preparing the first formal accounting of who has a working engine and who does not. Montreal is the opening lap of the real championship.